Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Nur Iman Sofia binti alias Subordination number A21-82858. Today I want to talk about introduction of 40 management principles by Henry FAYOL. 40 management principles by Henry FAYOL are internationally agreed rules for managers to follow to perform their duty in accordance with their responsibility. The French industry Henry FAYOL is now known as the father of modern management. FAYOL published the book titled Industrial and General Administration in 1960. He outlined the 40 management principles in this book. Meaning for each 40 management principle, division of work is enforced to avoid overlapping of duty. Authority is the power of a group of people and a particular power over a particular government sector. Discipline ensures individuals maintain silence of workplace and work as a single unit with their team members to achieve organization goal and objective. Unity of commandant forbid that employer is responsible to only one supervisor, and so on up the organization hierarchy. Unity of direction means one head and one plan for a group and activity with the same objective. Subordination of individual interests to the general interest account when the manager tries to integrate the individual goal with the organizational goal in such a manner so the both of objectives are accomplished with efficient and effectiveness. Remuneration is independent on a number of factors, but it should be fair and as far as possible across satisfaction both of personal and firm. Centralization refers to the concept in activity involving planning and decision making, which the organization are concentrated to the specific leader or location. Another chain in bracket line of authority when the employer find out where they stand in the organization hierarchy and who to speak to within the chain of command. Order refers to materials must have a place of commitment for each thing, and each thing must be in its appropriate place. Place should also be suitable, arranged and well chosen to avoid useless handling, lost time, and risk of mistake. It often associated with managers who should sweep still sense of equity through the chain of command and use equity and equity of treatment when dealing with employers. Ability of tenure of personnel often happen in the case of employers. They should be in a position not enough to have time with the worthwhile service, and if not, the work will never be properly done. Initiative is an initiative to encourage the development initiative, but to also ensure respect for authority and for discipline, and treat their corps in team spirit, ensuring in management for great united cooperation and team spirit among the employers.
Hi, my name is AFT1023. My entry number is A21-82722. I'm going to present about viewpoint about the approach Henry FAYOL in today's content. First is division of labor. It's intended to alleviate the burden of a employer by dividing the part of the tasks that need to be done without having a burden themselves with doing all the work themselves. Every company nowadays practice this concept to increase the productivity, efficiency, accuracy, and speed of employees in the management and technical levels of work. Authority. Until today, an organization has the authority that has the right to make decisions and take action to carry out a job. The manager has the power to give order and realize that with that power, it is his responsibility as a manager in an organization. Discipline. In organization today, discipline is an obligation that must be present in every individual in the organization regardless of rank. Like every individual who holds the title of employer must come early to the workplace. This is a disciplinary practice that should be emphasized in the organization until today. Only then does an organization become an excellent organization. Unity of order. Referred to in an organization, an employer is responsible to one supervisor only and get order from him. Related to the task to be performed, this means an employer only needs to have
one boss and according to his instruction.
Unity of direction. A group in the same objectives. They must be directed by the manager and it must be by using the plan method. Union of direction means that activities aimed at the same objective need to be organized so that there is planning and a responsible person. All activations are directed to the selected target or plan. Subordination of individual interest to the general interest. In an organization, refer to the relationship of dependence between one element with other element. The dominance implied in subordination can be formal or symbolic in nature. In addition, it is important to note that although a subordinate habit of obeying order is to the hierarchical relationship that he understands and accepts, it often happens that such a control prodded by applying force, such as certain imposition of social treatment by law enforcement agency through threats and physical violence. Remuneration can be linked to today's issue is that the government has set the minimum wage for all employers at Ringgit Malaysia 1,200. If there is a company that does not comply with this rule, the company will be sued. Importantly, for a company there are no element of personal interest. Centralization. Today, in a centralized organization, decision-making power is maintained at headquarters and all other office receive direction from the main office. A company holds a meeting to discuss together the activities in the organizational chain. The principle in today's content show that in an organization, subordinate employers must adhere to the formal chain of management that is to be to the right channel and must not in any way violate the sequence unless given flexibility by superiors. Order. To this day, every organization implements the principle that employer must retrieve instruction from the boss only. This avoid confusion and conflict in retrieve and giving instruction. All instruction and command as well as the flow, the process must be followed in a predetermined manner. Equity. In today's context, equity is an important element that needs to be instilled in a manager. In an organization, employer must be given a balanced service and justice to evoke their loyalty to the organization. Stability and tenure of staff. In an organization, no matter large or small organization, training will be given to employees to provide training and learning process. With this, all employees will feel satisfied and will give the best service in the organization. Initiative. Refer to the greatest satisfaction is to formulate the employment plan that is from the theoretical to practical level and review the effectiveness of the policy from time to time. The last is ethical harmony among all employers is the key to the success of a management in a company that will benefit all employers. It is the responsibility of management to provide inspiration and assistance to employers in order to achieve the goal of an organization.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Fariha binti Osman. Student ID A21A2761. I would like to present about related examples of Henry FAYOL. There are 6 related examples, which is division of work, discipline, authority creates responsibility, stability of tenure of the workers, subordination of workers' interest to general interest, and initiative. The first point is division of work. For example, a furniture manufacturer receives an order for 100 lecture stands. He will do the task with a team of 5 persons. There are 2 options for completing this order. Each employee should be expected to complete 20 lecture stands to begin with. The second technique is to assign various areas of the lecture stand to each of the 5 workers, such that only one worker is responsible for all 100 lecture stands. FAYOL is responding to the second, not the first, method of completing this work. Not only workers, but even managers benefit from the concept of division of labor. The second point is discipline. Employees that fail to maintain their promise to work to their full potential, for example, will be labeled disobedient. A sales manager, on the other hand, is authorized to conduct credit transaction. Discipline is another of Henry FAYOL's concept, which help the company maintain employee respect based on fair contract, which are vital to the company's success. The third point is authority creates responsibility. For example, a company CEO has upped the sales goal of the sales manager by a factor of 2 for the coming years. The authority a higher competent sales representative advertise as needed and so on must be allowed to achieve this purpose. The sales manager will not to be held liable if these things are not permitted. The next point is stability of tenure of the workers. Employees will not stay in a company for a long time if they are not treated well and the atmosphere is unpleasant, for example. They will, to put it another way, leave the company as soon as feasible, and this is a really dangerous situation. Next is subordination of workers' interests to general interest. For example, if a manager makes a choice that is bad for him personally but good for the company, he should put the company's interests first and make the appropriate decision. A decision that benefit management personally but result in a large loss for the company, on the other hand, should never be made. And the last one is initiative. A salesperson, for example, might suggest to his sales boss that a new advertising strategy be employed. The sales manager dismisses him and explaining that it is not conceivable and completely discarding the idea.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nur Aina binti Samri and my noble metric is A21A2765, and I'm going to present about advantage and disadvantage of Henry FAYOL management. I'm going to start with the advantage of Henry FAYOL management, which is the first is motivates the employees with the compensation. This is because Henry FAYOL management could be able to build employee motivation and retain good employees as well as be able to improve their skills and knowledge. For the second advantage is build-up concept on teamwork. Henry FAYOL management promote the concept of teamwork and team spirit rather than an individual employee. This is because having a good teamwork can give employees the opportunity to communicate and work better with colleagues. Every employee of course wants a friendly, comfortable and cheerful work environment to communicate and can work with anyone. It is also allow employee to learn from others and develop new skills. Working in team helps employees take on leadership roles and see their team members fulfill their responsibility. To implement and achieve their goals, they need to reach a consensus before making any decisions. This requires employees to actively discuss, communicate, and listen to each other. Teamwork enables problem-solving ability, strategy, and decision and making skill. It also teaches team members to hold responsibility and accountability for their decisions and action. As a team can achieve much more than individual employees are. They also foster growth and development. The third advantage is the principle facilitate a stable organizational structure to the organizations. This principle brings benefit because it facilitates a stable organizational structure to the organization. For example, the principle of the top-down model ensures that decisions in the organization are implemented from top-level management to lower-level management. The next advantage is the principal belief in fair compensation to employees. He also advocates employee motivation through monetary and non-monetary benefits. The disadvantage of Henry FAYOL management is the 14 principles are solely based on FAYOL's personal experience in management. The 14 principles do not involve other people or organizations or any research, and it only emphasizes in management skills. The second disadvantage of Henry FAYOL management is this principle does not correspond to the current policy of thought and control because it has long been invented. In addition, Henry FAYOL management was created a long ago, so it is possible that there is information that does not match the policy of thinking and control recently because, of course, the policy of thinking has now changed according to management chains, where now more have upgraded their management methods according to technology now. The structure is outdated when FAYOL created the principles the business organization and function on command and control, which is stark opposite to the business organizations in the present. Today, the organizations are run on creativity, innovation, and decentralization of power. The third disadvantage of this principle is also that it neglects the most important aspects of business, namely customer and customer satisfaction. This is because this principle promotes an organizational structure that meets the demands of the organization and not the demands of the customer. So since most organizations are customer-centric nowadays, it will definitely cause this structure to collapse on its own.
Conclusion: Henry FAYOL 14 management concepts are internationally accepted. They serve as a guide for managers in doing their duty in accordance with their responsibility. These principles serve as a set of guidelines for all aspects of management. To achieve the goal and create the public surplus, the manager must follow the 14 management principles. The 14 management concepts of Henry FAYOL are still remembered for their simplicity and ingenuity. The problem is that you can always tell what's wrong when you're managing or operation a business.